Hey, Scott, how are you this evening?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I had a great day.
Oh, you did. You were test driving cars and all sorts of wonderful things today.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. It was a little it was fun to test drive them, but it wasn't fun to try to look at the numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even used cars are very, very expensive.
And he says to me, but after April 1st, they're going up another 4,000.
That actually that's right. But you
Yeah.
better get in there.
So
You better get.
the
You better
pressure's
get in
on.
there. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, there's tariffs. I'm not sure there's going to be any tariffs on vinyl, but who knows? Who knows? Anyways, great to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too.
A good show tonight. Let me just get people up. Add to the stage. Hey, Jim, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you two?
Good evening, Jim.
Great
Good.
to
Good evening, Scott.
It's great to see you. And Angie, hey Angie, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Hi, Ange.
Hi, all.
And
And especially on the road is Jack. Jack on the road. So we've got him muted. Let me just unmute him for a second. How you doing, Jack?
We're driving a little slower to eliminate some of the noise.
Yeah.
You've got to see this. I have this phone in the phone holder. I've got my light here because it's dark out. So if we ever get pulled over, I'm going to have to explain this to the police here in Tennessee. It'll be like my cousin Vinny.
Okay, but
Two
I'm just gonna.
youths.
You're not too loud. The sound is okay. We're not echoing right now. So
But you go ahead and mute me. It's
I'm going to
not-
mute you just for a sec. Okay, let me go back to the comments. We have a lot of comments tonight. But before we start, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the end of the show last week where we got some echo. And so what I did is I sent all the echo cancellation information that you get with StreamYard to all the guys, Ryan and Alan and James in Columbus, a lot of other people. Tonight, if we get someone on echo, we'll try and get you sorted out really quickly. The quickest way is, I mean, Angie had everything checked perfectly, and no Bluetooth, but she still had echo at the beginning. So she just rebooted and now it's fine. But if we can't get you sorted, I'm going to have to let you go. I hate it. Please forgive us. But the echo is it's just too much. Just don't have anything on in the house. No YouTube. Make sure those things are checked. Okay, guys. So with that in mind, hope everybody is well. I just want to say thank you to the people watching after the show is finished being live on the reruns. StreamYard always tell us best practices. Make sure you say thank you to those people because you don't get a chance to talk to them like we are to the peanut gallery. So here we go. Excuse me, I've still got that cough. 3 weeks now. Andrew from Oz. Have a great show, team. Having an Indian summit in the Canberra office. And oh, yes, the cyclone to the north. My God, that was terrible. Grand Prix this weekend. Question from Andrew is the best Ravel Bolero on LP. I played it lots of times, but I don't have a version on LP because
I'll get it for you in a minute.
I'm asking you guys. You guys, what are your favorite versions on LP?
I'll get it over.
Go ahead, Angie. We'll wait for you. Scott, do you have one?
I think it's the Boston Symphony, Munch.
Oh, actually, I do have that. Yes, it's
Yeah.
on the French Touch. I think it is.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
No, it's on. No, it's on its own disc. Bolero.
Oh, yeah, it's actually on Bolero. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is really wonderful.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
And Jack gives the thumbs up for that one too. Jim, do you have one on vinyl?
Yeah, well, I've got an old LP, and it's Cloton with the Paris Conservatoire Orchestra doing Bolero and La Valse it's a great record. It's always been wonderful, I think. And it's very well recorded as well.
Have you ever played La Valse, Jim?
Yeah.
It's a you know what.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to conduct because it's three, but it's in one, and there's tons of rubato, and it gets faster and faster and faster. It's very difficult to conduct, and playing is not too bad, but conducting is difficult. So that's great. So there's 3 votes for the Living Stereo Analog Productions reissue Bolero, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
With Munch and the Boston Symphony. Angie's just going to get his. We'll get back to Angie. Okay, Andrew, there you go. You got a good recommendation there, and another one from Jim. And of course, from Joey, our mascot. Hi, everyone. It's the best night of the week.
Hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Just while waiting for Ange to get back with the Bolero, Leanne said, "Hey, Leanne, she's probably tucked up in her jammies in snowy Lachute, Quebec. Any recommendations for the best version of Daphnis and Chloé?" Now, there's vinyl and CD. Let's just talk about recordings that you can get them on vinyl and CD. They're great on CD, but they're great on vinyl. Jen, I wonder if you can get this from me. Right here, Daphnis and Ravel. Is that it? Daphnis and Chloé? There's this one.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh, did you find it, Ange?
no, I have a backup for you though. This one
No
here.
problem. No problem. I'm just going to do this first. This is for our friend Leanne. This is the Monteur with the LSO on. This is the OIG reissue, 45s. It's magnificent. And there's one equal to this that everyone always talks about. Scott, do you have that one? The other one?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the other one?
Same artist, same. Yeah. Lunch.
I have that
Yes,
too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've analyzed both of them. Personally, I think they're both amazing. Both have strengths. So either of those you're fine with. If you want to get a CD, Leanne, the Montreal Symphony one version is very beautiful with Dutoit. I mean, he's amazing at that kind of stuff. So yeah. Oh, and then let me just get to Angie Big.
Oh, that one is good too.
Oh, yeah, that's the same one. That's the original of the analog production.
No, it's actually a redo. They re-recorded it.
Oh,
like
that's
5 years later. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful, Ange. So
That's
there you
nice.
go. There you
And I
go.
couldn't find the Bolero I wanted to show you, but this is cool. Because look what you've got. You've got Bolero on one side.
And Rhapsody Espanol, gorgeous.
That's
and
right.
Pictures. Wow, that's a hell of a
Wow.
great, Ange. Thank you.
So that's a good one to get.
So Leanne and
Sorry.
and Andrew, you've been looked after. And Leanne says, "It's a lovely moon in the sky here in the ranges. Hope all is well with you."
Thank you.
Scott says, "Good evening. We're enjoying some early spring weather here in Central Virginia." Hey,
Wonderful.
Scott. Hey, Daryl. Hey, Daryl. How are you? Hello, all. Greetings from Boston, where spring takes its sweet time making it test. Oh, yeah. Boston has the same weather as Montreal. I know that weather. Wow. It can get really snowy and cold in Boston. And Daryl, I think Daryl is a middle school music teacher, so he's going to heaven. Absolutely. Oh, he is. I've mentioned this to Daryl before, because I've actually done it as well. From done not the little ones, but from there up to university level. But the hardest thing you'll ever do is grade 1. That's the hardest thing. But we asked Harry Curry, our friend who used to write for Audiophile, who's done it all, sung at Vegas, great jazz musician, great classical, great writer, wrote for Audiophile. And I said to Harry, he's flown the Harrier, flown Spitfire, tell Rachel that. And I said to Harry one day, "So Harry, what's the most difficult thing you've ever done?" He said, "Oh, that's really easy. Grade 7 and 8 instrumental music." And then, so Daryl, we know how you feel. And I think James in Columbus did the same thing. And Wicked, hey buddy, how are you? Good evening, all. James, we were just talking about you, James. Good evening, all. Scott, you can buy a used Tesla.
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
You hadn't thought about that. Maybe the Charis won't go on for that. Is the beloved Tesla. Although even before all this nonsense, the shine was coming off Teslas. I mean, friends of mine had one, and it's like the fit and finishes. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leanne says, hi, everyone. And Joey says, be safe, Jack, my friend. Yes.
Mm.
Jack, it's
He's
like
got a
those.
chauffeur.
You look like those 60s, thriller shows where, there's a back projection out of your window as you're hurtling along the
Oh,
highway.
yeah. You're on, Jack. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're 70 miles from Chattanooga doing 71 miles an hour. So I
What
can
kind
even
of car,
figure that out.
what kind of car are you in?
I own a Tacoma truck, and one of my dear friends is driving. So that way I can do I wouldn't miss this for the world, you know?
Cool.
Yeah.
There's an answer to Scott's question. There it is.
Oh, hang on. Let me get you big, bud. I'm doing
This
one
is what
sec.
Scott's talking about.
Oh, Scott, sorry, Scott. My best version of Bolero is Telex pressing with Slatkin. Oh, yeah, that's a famous one too.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
I'm going to
that.
show some Telarcs later.
Fantastic.
So I had it handy.
Fabulous.
Yeah, those can be really fun.
There's Joey, as he usually does, hitting on Leanne. That's Chloe's a beautiful piece. It's as beautiful as you, Leanne. Oh, young love in the vinyl community. Dad, number one Phoenix. Hey, Dad, how are you? Even after cleaning my records with my VPI cleaning machine, they attract a lot of dust, etc. How can I reduce this or keep this from happening? Well, we got the man to talk about it right there. Can you see that? Can you see that, Jack?
You know, I can't.
We can read it to you.
What is the machine?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the machine that you use to stop the dust from getting on the record?
The machine?
Yeah, well, you bought a machine that was very expensive, and it takes takes
Oh,
dust
it's
off.
the VIP. I don't know what the model is. The VIP machine.
VPI.
Oh, I thought you got
Oh,
something.
you mean the static? The
Yeah,
static.
static. Yeah.
Yeah, it's made by, I don't know the model, but it's made by Guru. It's $299. If you go to Straight Talk with Jack, 2-3 videos back, I do a review of it, and you can buy it on Amazon, and it's fantastic.
There you go, Dat. Something for you to think about. Not typical with vinyl, though. It's not cheap. Now, Eric Wong. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Is Eric new?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric. Great to see you.
Welcome.
Once we send the link around, come on up. Just make sure you got the echo cancellation checked, and whatever the second one is, the mic volume. But it'd be great to see you and tell us what you got and what you like, where you're from. And Joey says the weather is nice here in Detroit, cooler, but back in the 60s tomorrow. Oh, that's right. Read that, please, Joey. Scott.
What car are you getting? Well, today I looked at a Hyundai Sonata, but
Great car.
huh?
Nice car.
It's a great car. I got one from my parents. It's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
and
nice.
reliable.
The test drive was great.
Yeah.
What would be the first album played in the new car? I don't know. Maybe the opening of like 2001: A Space Odyssey, also Sprock.
You know, for you guys, cars, I remember, sweating over this BMW that I wanted. And Angie said to me, who taught me a lot about business, said, Anthony, do you love it? I said, oh, yeah, I really love it. She says, is it going to make a difference in your life? I said, oh, yeah. She said, buy the goddamn thing, which I did. And I was very happy for 15 years. Every time I got in that car, it made me really happy.
Angie.
Angie has a collection of cars like you would not believe. She's loaned me her Fiats and for 3 weeks. Remember that, Ange? But she also has, what are you driving now, Ange?
I have a Mercedes AMG station wagon, the E53,
Oh, excuse me.
which is amazing. Talk about a bullet in disguise. And I have an Audi Q7. And I have the little Cinquecento just for fun because it's convertible, the little Fiat.
We had one. Jan loved.
I know you did, yeah.
Yeah, BMWs, everything. And people say, oh, nice car. But Jan, every time we rented that car before we bought one because Jan really wanted one, and people would stop us. We in Florida and oh, what do you think of that car? And we loved it. It was a great car. And I'm 6'1", and I had a lot of room, and it's beautiful. Anyway, there you go.
We use the Fiat to deliver cartridges.
Excuse me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry. You use the Fiat to go what?
We use it to deliver cartridges.
Oh, yeah.
That's about all it'll fit, right? That's good advice, though, Angie. I'm going to take
Yeah.
that lesson to heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
No,
evening.
really, you have the rest of your life to pay for it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. It's a bank.
Enjoy. It's your motivation to get up in the morning.
Right.
You
We're
know,
buying a house.
just
Let the
do
bank
it.
own the goddamn house. Who cares? Right? You know, just
Yeah, who cares?
buy a house.
If you don't have a mortgage, you're not
No.
human. You're not alive.
As Angie
Go
says,
for
Angie, Angie, which mansion are you in tonight?
The one and only.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's beautiful. So Alan, hey, this is Cranberry Sauce. Alan, hi everyone. Jim, could you read that for us, bud?
Yeah, hi everyone. I like the Living Stereo, Bolero, Charles Munch, and Boston Symphony.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that's the one I couldn't find right now. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
Jack,
good.
Thumbs up from Jack. Thumbs up from Scott and me. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's the one.
Leanne says, thanks, guys. I will look for those. Hey, Illuminate. Jim MG from Chicago. Jim,
Oh,
we're going to send the link out later, and please come up. Scott said you've got some records to show. There was also
That
the
one.
SL 2164 monitor LSO. It's amazing. I've got the London ORG version done by Bernie Grumman, which is fantastic. Although even on the Bernie Grumman version, Jim and I played, actually, we were blessed to play Daphnis together. I just played the flute solo. We did it on television. And I remember Jim, about 5 minutes in, when it gets very loud, the choir comes in. And even on the ORG, there's distortion from the original tape. He couldn't get it all out. Excuse me.
In the choral parts?
Beg your pardon?
In the choral parts?
Yeah, when the choral,
Yeah.
you know, dee, 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 the violins and violas are scraping away, and it gets brass are coming in as triple F. So yes, yeah, eliminate. Yeah, we'll see you hopefully later. Daphnis option, yeah, that's okay. And so Scott says you can highly recommend a Sonata. Hondas are awesome. We know that. I had one for 15 years.
Yeah, that's what I have
paid-
now.
I paid $15,000 for it, drove it for 15 years, and then sold it for $4,000. Amazing resale on Hondas. Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Super cool, Daryl. Go Bo Sox. Eric is from Mississauga, Ontario. I'm a newbie to classical. I do not have too many classical records on vinyl. Well, welcome, Eric. You're the guy we're looking for. We want guys to get into classical and vinyl, CDs, doesn't matter. Cassette tapes, if you got them. Or streaming, just listen, enjoy. You'll get a lot of recommendations and people, you know, some of your favorite music. Ask. There's no wrong questions. Every question is valid. We appreciate everybody, and especially our people who are, as you say, you're a newbie to classical. I'm Jen. Where do we live in Mississauga? What was the area called? Yeah, we lived in Meadowvale. I'm so sorry.
Eric, do you stream or do you use vinyl or CD? What sources do you use when you listen to music?
There you go. The
Great
oracle is
question.
spoken. And if you haven't visited Angie yet, which is the Mecca in Toronto, Mississauga, the environs.
Richmond Hill.
Richmond Hill, Rich Man's Hill. Go up to Angie's place, and just it's amazing. And Scott says, Joey, did you ever see it, the Old Tiger Stadium? It is the Old Tiger Stadium. It is a great park. Beautiful. All by the cobblestones. I remember driving by it with my son. We went to the car show in January and just in Denver. Wow. And in Detroit. Wow, it was cold. But a great stadium. Joey, I've been to Mississauga, beautiful city. Joey, are you sure Mississauga? No, it's a lovely place. Lovely place. And Leanne is she never met a boy she didn't want to say hi to on the. I'm just teasing you, Eric. And Octopus Triotti, that's Max Geiger, that's our guy. Howdy
Yep.
team.
Oh, yeah.
Postal Playboy, that's Matthew. I asked Jen before we went on. I said, Postal Playboy, Matthew, right? She went, yep. So I didn't forget. Hey, Matthew, how are you? Sleeper Bolero pick. Oh, yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Parade with Detroit on Mercury. Not even a sleeper.
Yeah, that's really good.
I was playing this the other day. This was from my friend Ryan. Can you believe this is a gift? I mean, it's just
Wow. That record's a humdinger.
that record is something else. Okay. The Hebert Ports of Call, it's a fun kind of piece.
We know you don't like it, Anthony.
I know it's not great film music. But the Rhapsody Espanol, La Valse, Pavane, and Alvarado del Gracioso. Incredible playing, incredible performance, recorded at the old high school. It's been knocked down.
Right.
The technical high school.
Yes,
The
right.
Espanol is fantastic. It's not as good as the Reiner, the Chicago, which is the on the Reiner sound, which is the best Rhapsody.
That's magical.
But it's very good. But you're right, Matthew. That anything with Parai, he's so brilliant. I mean, and he got that orchestra playing like, dreams.
Yeah.
So, Angie, do you want to read that?
Hold on. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I listen to music mainly on vinyl. Oh, great. But I do have some CDs. Great. Good to know. Try streaming as well. It's another great way to explore and learn about classical music. And you don't have to spend any money other than on the streaming service. So that's a great way to learn classical.
If you're getting
certified,
streaming is the way to
Brahms
go.
and Chopin, and you'll get a crash course in no time.
Great
advice,
suggestion. Yeah, it is. Streaming is like, I mean, it's an incredible godsend for people. I mean, we're thinking of vinyl. Oh, the best pressing, and God, it's going to cost $200. And then you get 48 CDs for $50. I know, we're in the wrong business.
But you can get started with streaming, for $300.
That's right. You can.
It doesn't take a lot of money. And if you get addicted, then you start spending more money.
Watch out, Eric. And for God's sake, don't go to Richmond Hill, Angie Store. Frederick, hi, Frederick. How are you? Hi, all. Boulez, Bolero on DG. Very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I think about Boulez, I'll tell you a Boulez story. He's revered and beloved in the modern music business. But a very good friend of Jim's and mine, full name is Stuart. I won't say his last name. He's a wonderful musician. Played principal oboe with the Grenadier Guards band for several years. Then left, bought himself out of the army, as they do what you can in England, and came to Trinity on oboe as a wonderful oboist. But he had friends in the BBC Symphony. And at that time, Boulez was principal, not conductor, I think guest conductor. So he got to study some things with Boulez. But Boulez was a funny bugger, and he would go on no baton, everything like this. And some of the orchestra, if you've seen the BBC Symphony Bernstein debacle on Enigma Variations, on what that orchestra can be like. They can be really snarky with geniuses like Bernstein and geniuses like with Boulez. But Boulez, he said, Maestro, he was doing music in 7/16 and 9/12, all these weird time signatures. And Maestro, no, that's wrong. You're conducting it wrong. And he looked at it for a second. He says, let me show you. You see, it's perfect. That's it. End of discussion. Typical conductor. End of discussion. That's it. But you're right, Frederick. I mean, Boulez, some things Boulez does, no one can touch him. It's amazing.
Well, it's like Adrian Bolt doing the Mars and the planets in 5/4. He just used to do it in 1.
That's right. It's like, conductors have these little parts that are not comfortable for them. I have one. I'm going to admit to. I have lots actually, but there's one. At the last movement of the Symphony Fantastique. So it's in 6/8. So it's compound time, right? Right. And just then the orchestra comes in like a hemiola. Da 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 d d d 3 against 2. Da. So I always did, if I was conducting it, just 1, 2. let the orchestra buggers sort it out. I don't care. Right. That's the quickest way to do it. Anyway, so yeah, there are some things that conductors find, that there's lots of tricky stuff, but Daryl says the Boulez Daphnis on DG is a stunner. And Frederick mentioned, yeah. I wonder who that. It's probably Chicago or Cleveland. I think he did that one. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go big for a second. Actually, no, I'm going to do this for a second. Add to the stage. Just to let you know, next week, Ozzy's in town. Ozzy Martinez from Let There Be Music, and a good friend of Scott's, and Scott will be leading the interview, and we're going to be talking phono cartridges. So I hope Angie's around, because then we're going to have the 2 oracles about phono cartridges, lots of them. So moving magnets and the differences, and the materials, and the Alnico magnets, and it'll be fun. Okay. And then we have Jay Marsh, the Toronto session flutist I was telling you about. Then Andy will be back after I canceled him. Poor Andy. Then we have Jennifer Johnston from the Bavarian State Opera. Now, Jim, you said you spoke to somebody today?
Yeah, we'll get Sandra Parr on, who's head of orchestra planning at the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic, and she's awarding an outstanding achievement from the British Association of Orchestras just recently. So it should be very interesting to chat about what's going on with British orchestras and all the associated things that go with that. So I'm looking forward to that.
That'd be wonderful, Jim. And I haven't heard back from Andrew yet, but I'm sure I will. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Okay. So now let's go through a couple of things that I wanted to show you. The first is, Scott, could you talk about that?
Yes, I have had the Perpetuum Ebner turntable for about a month, so I decided to do a first impression type of video, and that's coming out tomorrow around noon, I think. So I hope you all take a look at it. It's such a beautiful turntable. That picture does not do it justice. No, believe me.
I had a pre-show of the video. It's fantastic. I think everybody will love that, and especially Angie will love it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So here's some recordings that I found this week. This one I think was like $50 or $60 at Presto Music. Antal Dorati in London. The Mercury Masses. I mean, it's going to be just incredible. I'm not sure what the sound is going to be like on the CD. Jim, didn't you have that? Didn't you review that Mercury Living Presence Mercury Masters box? What did you think of the sound?
Yeah, I did. Well, it's box 3, isn't it? Because they did 3 full boxes of it when they were about $70. Now they're about $700 only to buy.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the sound comes across really well on the CDs. I have no qualms with listening to these CD pressings, because they re-engineered them digitally, and actually they're so well recorded. The depth of the orchestra sound is all there. They're good. Well worth getting.
Yeah, the Kozart finds know how to record, and you did it from Watford. Put them
absolutely
on stage. So the Proscenium March, 3 mics, and that's it. Incredible. So and that's about. So who was the gentleman talking to us before? Is it Eric? Hey, Eric, that would be something to buy. And I think it's about $50 or $60. That would be a good starter point for you, my friend. And I got this because dear Joey mentioned it last week. Alice Serrod, he's been listening to that. John Field, The Complete Nocturnes. It's a beautiful cover. God, the photography that Dutch Grammophone do is amazing. And of course, it's got the beautiful yellow band. So John Field was an Irish composer. I think he was contemporary with Chopin, I think. It's supposed to be very good. They're quite famous. I think Tallack did a famous John O'Connell, I think his name was, an Irish pianist. But anyway, there you go. That was for you, Joey. This is like a $50, 42 CDs. Michel Baroff, very fine pianist, amazing French technique, and a very good musician. A lot of great recordings. So there you go. That's
what label?
But I don't know. I think it's Erato. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Erato or Warner. One of those nowadays.
It's all under Warner.
Who knows? Now, I want to talk to you about this young lady. Has anybody heard that yet?
No.
No.
Should have a listen. I streamed it. And I'm telling you, she's something else. She really is the real deal. You get all these good-looking young players coming on and having beautiful photographs with Deutsche Grammophon or London or Decca, whatever. This lady, and when I was doing the Beethoven, listening to her, Jan, I think, has got amazing ears. Jan said, "Who's playing the violin, Anthony?" And I said, "It's a girl named Maria Duenas. She's new." She says, "She really knows how to tell a story." And I thought that was a great line. So I'm using it in reviews. But it's what I found amazing about her. She got the chops. I mean, like they all do, right? But what's amazing is her tone. So no matter how fast the bow arm gets, and it gets very fast in a lot of them, every note is like a pearl. It really is. It's beautiful. I can highly recommend that disc. I know the Beethoven got great reviews, but I guess Deutsche Grammophon are not going to spend money on all this production values if this lady can't produce the goods. And a lot of people can produce the goods, but she's very special, I think, on those 2 CDs at least. Now, a little bit of equipment here. This is for, is it Eric we just talked to? Eric Wong? Angie was mentioning streaming. This is a streamer. Streamers can be quite inexpensive. We have a couple coming up. Jesus is reviewing a couple, one coming up in, I think on April the 1st from Revo, the Revo Plus streamer, which is very good. It's about $1,000, which is still quite expensive. This one's $5,000, but it's from Infigo Audio in Kelowna, BC, and they make exquisite products. And I heard this in Seattle show, and it sounded fantastic. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm liking that streaming. How much is it? I forget the gentleman's name. He said, "Oh, it's $5,000, which is very expensive, but in high-end audio, it's not a lot." I said, "How much is the DAC that's playing it?" He went, "Oh, $35,000. So I was thinking, okay. So I can't vouchsafe for this as a standalone unit, but through a great DAC, it was fantastic. For streaming, you really fleshed out instruments, beautiful sound. So that's good. Infigo Audio, go to their website. They're very, very, they don't advertise or anything. We have a couple of, Carl has reviewed one of their DACs, which was very good. No, I think a preamp. But they're expensive. They're playing with the big boys. You're playing with D'Agostino and all these guys who make incredibly famous stuff. It's very good. He's a fine.
Nice.
Beg your pardon?
I said the faceplate is very pretty too.
You should see the faceplate when the blue light comes out and this blue. Oh, it's gorgeous. I mean, stunning. And not so stunning as far as looks are concerned. But this is the Canor PH210 that I'm going to review from my friend Brian Taylor at the Gramophone. Canor was getting tons of social media love, a little bit like Harbeth and Hagel. Slowed down a little bit, but I reviewed one of their, I think it was an integrated, but it was a hybrid, and it was good, very good. This is 3,900 US, all tube phono preamplifier. So I'll see how that sounds. I'm getting this coming on Friday. The review will be up probably this summer sometime. That's when we get back. So I'll get back to that in a minute. Let me just remove that. Great. So, Daryl says the Boulez Daphnis is with Berlin. Hey, Sky, how are you? Excuse me. The bloody cough is hanging around. Good evening, all. Streaming recommendations for Beethoven 7th with Hannah Kendall and the LSO. Hannah Kendall, I don't know. Conductor with the LSO? I'll have to look for that. And Scott says, Scott, can you read that? You'll enjoy that.
Cartridges next week. Better get my credit card ready. Yeah.
And Joey, of course, saying, Joey saying hello to everybody. Love Joey. And Frederick says, has anyone heard the HDTT CD reissues? Kind of like esoteric, but not as fancy packaging and much cheaper. I've never heard of them. Anybody heard HDTT CD?
No.
No, Frederick. Maybe you can give us some titles and we'll look for them. Eric says, thanks for the recommendation, Anthony. Well, you're very welcome. But I mean, seriously, all joking aside, Eric, you know, once you get into it, drive up and see Angie. Angie will ask you about your room. She will ask you about your budget, and she will set you straight, and she will give you the best sound you can get on whatever your budget is. Okay. But definitely go see Angie before you buy anything. Thank you, producer. At American Sound of Canada. If you go, you drive. Angie, it's Yonge Street, right?
Would be happy to have you at the corner of Yonge and Stouffville Road.
Yeah. Oh, I get shaky when I think about that place.
Well, I've got 2 buildings, so I call one the high school, which is where everybody starts. Then you walk a few steps to the bigger building, and that's the bigger dollar one. That's university. So we'll help you at both levels.
A lot of construction
And get the best at both levels.
It's going this way, though.
Jack, you're live for a second. What's the language? I'm just kidding. Jack, can you show your bag?
There you go. It's also known as Angie's Audio Corner.
If you go, Eric, Angie will look after you. I was talking to Angie the other day about this. My son Matthew, who's now, Jen, how old is Matthew? He's 34. 30 years ago, I think I mentioned this last week. When he was 4 years old, he came in with me. He's a little lad. And hi, Angie. And she gave him a vinyl record. I forget what it was. But he was so thrilled with that record. And he went on to Jan and said, look, Jan, Angie gave me my first vinyl record. He's only 4 years old.
That was so special.
It was. So she's always looked after my kids. Okay. Eric,
had to start him young.
Yeah, boy, did you. Where's Eric's? I had Eric in there. There it is. Joey wants to get the Alice Sarah Art. It's in my Amazon cart. And the Maria 2, great album. I can highly. The Beethoven is wonderful. I think Sky recommended it as well. But the Paganini is fantastic. Her sound. It's very much like with the Hilary Hahn Isaiah album, where every note has that kind of richness to it and dead center intonation wise. Oh, good, Frederick. Here we go. Just streamed Duenas today. Wow. Yes. Isn't that amazing? Like that first one. And you're thinking, you know, if she gets the bow right and the strings right, but it's each note is a pearl. It's really good.
Anthony, is it like Anna Sophie Mutter, which is my favorite?
Well, yes, Anna Sophie Mutter is renowned. But as she got older, I think her tone, if I pick my flute up now and play it, like, oh my God, you know, it is, we lose it a bit, right? We just lose we lose it. And she hasn't lost it. She's still a wonderful player, but she has a very thick tone. And it's so on that CD that you love so much, the Carmen and the Sarasate, it's incredible. Like it doesn't get any richer. But it's for sometimes some of the faster music in her older years. I mean, she's in the 60s, you know. Here we go. I streamed Maria Duenas. It's wonderful. Yeah. Matt, another one. Matthew, I streamed Duenas. It's great. And Joey says, Alice and Maria are in the cart. Well, that's James says, hope you can get the MBL C41. Oh, the C41 Stream Attack review. Rave reviews, but I've spent my allotment. Yes. That's their third one. Angie's got one. Angie, call Angie. Such a deal.
It's amazing. It's such value because it's a lot of things in one. Made in Germany, and it's the small guy, but it's a winner. It's DAC, streamer, preamp, all in one box.
I tell
Quite
you,
good.
we did
And
the
I'm spoiled.
the review of a very, very expensive all-in-one CD DAC streamer, 25,000 US. Lovely, and it was wonderful, wonderful. But as we were listening to it, Jan came in and we
This
listened.
is 11K US.
I know it's.
This
I'm
is
not
a
worried about-
bargain.
but I'm talking about my MBL CD DAC, which is now.
Oh yeah, yours. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
expensive. But we both looked at each other and said, we prefer the MBL, and it's $10,000 cheaper. So, and this one is, excuse me. I mean, this one is supposed to be amazing. So there you go, Jim. Yeah, call Angie. She'll look out for you. Here we go. I'm not sure if Angie sells these, but Eric is it. Max really knows his streamers, and he knows his inexpensive streamers as well. He does a lot of reviews for Audiophilia for that way. He can vouch for Wim. Get in the stream for under 100 bones. That's $100. That's about $200 to you, Eric, in Mississauga dollars. Get it soon before the price goes up. Yeah, Leanne, you're absolutely right. Name make wonderful streamers. One of my favorites.
They do.
They're expensive.
do.
Certainly they make the best screens. Their TFT screens are second to none. If you go to any name ad and you look at their screens, they're just amazing. Joey says hi, Jan. Jan says hi, Joey. And Illuminate says, Angie, can you read that?
Me?
Yes.
Has Jack graduated yet, Angie? Jack.
I'm not sure what that means.
You.
There he is. Look at
In
him.
many ways, he's graduated.
Look at him. Look at he's got his light on. He's got his phone. How can you drive and talk at the same time? Oh, you're not.
I'm not
driving.
driving. My
He's got a
good friend here
chauffeur.
is driving. Yeah.
But you're in a.
I hope we don't get pulled over. Can you imagine me explaining to the police officer? We're doing a classical music stream all over the world. Leave me alone.
That's great. What else we got here? Wow, we have a lot of questions tonight, guys. I'm going to keep going because then I'll put the link up. We're going to show some records tonight. Angie and Scott and Jim. Plus, we got the building a library.
Questions are good.
Yeah, I know they're wonderful. The peanut gallery is what makes everything. Frederick said on HTT try Hornstein Mahler 3. Well, high definition tape transfer. Yes, I've heard they're very good. And I heard the Mahler 3 is supposed to be amazing and Dreading Nutcracker. I think that's the one with the concertgebouw, not the LSO. The later concertgebouw one is even better, I think.
From Phillips, yeah.
Excuse me. Thanks. Yes, Frederick. High definition tape transfer. I talked about them once very briefly. They're not cheap, but I heard they're very, very good. The Hornstein Mahler 3 is Angie's favorite. She's the one that recommended. And I got it, and Jack got it. Jack likes it not as much as the Bernstein. I love it. I love it. And of course, last week I showed you the Czech Philharmonic one, which is very, very disappointing. Sound, not performance. And also, the Czech Philharmonic just played at the Barbican. Did you read the review, Jim?
No.
It was good, not great, but people keep saying, "Oh, they're the Berlin Phil," and they're not. They're a very fine orchestra. But when you hear the Berlin Philharmonic play, the intensity of their string section and the corporate, I sometimes call Jan in when they have the little highlights on the Berlin Phil. I said, just watch the back of the second violins and the intensity and the precision which they're bowing. It's just scary. And their bass section, don't even get amazing. And there's no orchestra that can even touch them. Even the beloved Cleveland. Eric says, I will need to check it out sometime, Angie. Yeah, go see Angie. Don't take your credit card in, though, whatever you do. It's just go in. Could you read that one, Jim?
I like darker pieces of music, such as The Isle of the Dead by Rachmaninoff, and I love all the Brahms symphonies. Any recommendations?
Well, we just did the Brahms symphonies last week, and the Karajan Emil Berliner 2016 was high. We like that. And the Reiner fourth with the on Chesky is very good. But I'm going to just say for the Isle of the Dead, the Reiner sound, it's incredible. The way he builds it, it's got that, talk about dark, you know, 5/8 time, 1 2 3 4 5 1, and he gets it so it flows, but it's dark and intense, and then he builds the crescendos to the most incredible sound. And the analog productions reissue is incredible, except for what, Scott?
The cover.
I think Scott had to go into therapy because it wasn't a gloss cover; it was a matte cover. And didn't you try and get to the bottom of it? And they didn't.
No, but I never brought it up to him again. But yeah, that's one. There's like 3 in the whole series that have matte covers that, you know, are not supposed to be matte.
Scott, is yours matte? Mine is glossy.
You must have got in early on that first batch.
So that you know, the Brahms symphonies, if you can get them on the Emil Berliner reissue, is fantastic. And the Reiner Chesky and all the great Reiner recordings. I'm going to talk about 2 in a minute if we have time.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? His Reiner, the 4th Symphony with the Royal Philharmonic. I think it was at it wasn't Kingsway. I think it was, I'm not sure where it was, but it's his favorite record. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Recorded by Reader's Digest, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then Chesky. Leanne, I'll come visit you next time in town. Yeah. Oh, you guys would get on so well. Angie, Leanne, you would love Angie, and Angie, you would love Leanne.
Great.
Daryl uses a shit Modi DAC, miniature but mighty. Yeah. Well, you know, interesting company shit. Another one, this Darlings of the Internet. They produced a turntable that the debut was a disaster. Did not go well. Reviewed a couple of things, and you know, I hate to say this, but you do get what you pay for in high-end audio. And I've heard nothing but good things about the shit stuff. And and isn't it like $300 or something, Daryl? It's not expensive, and they're Phono stage, but I've heard better, just so you know. And I've heard better for cheaper stuff, but that's just me. But if you don't have a lot of money to start off with, and Eric is the one for when you get into vinyl. Daryl, there's shit money DAC miniature. Oh, sorry, the DAC miniature but mighty.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything. Sky. I also highly recommend Julia Fisher. Oh my God, that's the one that Jim recommended.
Yeah. She's
another beautiful woman on that cover. My God, I love that cover. Jim is just gorgeous. Of Julia Fisher.
And she also plays the Greek piano concerto.
Oh, that's right.
But she plays the 6th variation of the Paganini like I never heard it done before, and it's so difficult and to do it the way she does it. I have to say, I haven't heard it better in that particular variation. But you know,
fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. But the best part of Sky, and you know, Sky, he's the apple pie man. I'll be an exponent and looking forward to gift bags.
Come and visit me. I'll be there 1620.
I gotta tell you, if we have time, I'm not sure we're gonna have time, but I just want to talk to you just briefly about this. I'm gonna tell you about this.
Power of the orchestra.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We're talking about one, but I finally found it. It was in the bins for a company called Acoustic Sounds, and this was in Denver, at the Rocky Mountain Honor Show. And Chad and I were going through this. I said, "Oh, I got this." I said, "Oh," and I saw a man. I think his name was Chad Kassem, and I said, "Oh, hi. Oh, Chad. I'm the Power of the Orchestra. Can I take this? And would I be able to get a press discount?" No.
No.
That was it. No. Yet. Move on.
I had a cup of coffee. You should have checked with me.
It was there. We were just in the light of the moment. It was lovely. And he came over and Jan was smiling at him. You just shouldn't get discounts. All right. And he smiled. Can I get a press discount? No. And then turned around and walked away. That was the end of that. Oh, it doesn't matter that my whole review of the
Don't go down there.
guys. It doesn't matter that my whole review, not a part of it, no. Ask, can I, Anthony? My whole review. What was it, Scott? The Royal Ballet. My whole review was in his website. You know?
That's right. Yeah.
Now you sell my records for me, and when you ask for something, get lost. That's the way it goes, I think. Anyway, I was just funny. There was a big article about Chad in the New York Times. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah.
I know him when he used to be in the hallways at shows, selling from his canvas bags.
I know.
And he was selling things like Casino Royale. And those days, a Casino Royale record was $200 US.
Yeah.
So he's really worked his way
Chad's
right from the carpet level all the way up to where he is.
I'm just teasing.
Today.
I mean, he's a legend. I mean, he really is.
He is a legend.
And because he's a legend, there's a million stories, right? I wonder, Scott, could you read Jeremy's?
Sure.
That one.
I'm sorry. Okay. If you love Brahms symphonies, the Schumann symphonies, and Dvorak Symphony number 5 through 9 may be good pieces for you to look into if you don't know them already.
Absolutely. And of course, as Angie said, you can stream them all, and they're amazing. And I know the Dvorak symphonies, all the Cortez, LSO, are all remastered and streamed on Cobos. Okay, and this is Wicked Exile. Hello, my friend. Inspired by your video, Anthony, I found a dozen Lyritas, $6.
$6.
You swine! Buy them all. I believe they may have come from Art Dudley's collection. Oh, bless his heart.
Very nice.
You know, very few people when Art Dudley died. I mean, when people die, I mean, my brother-in-law died last year, and I was very upset by it. When Art Dudley died, I was bummed out. I spoke to him about a year before on the phone. He was asking me to be on a panel with him, and he's the most lovely guy. He was devoid of ego, so he wasn't like these. And he was the best writer since HP died.
Yeah.
He's the best writer in the business by far. I mean, so far above everybody. English teacher by trade, lived in upstate New York. Lovely wife, lovely daughter. His wife's name was Janet. She was just a lovely lady. So it was such a shame. Within 3 months, he died of this very horrible cancer. So yeah. So isn't that wonderful? That I know that they were played on really fine vinyl with very fine cartridges and very fine turntables. And that was his. Yeah, he was a master at that. Yeah, very. And he was very good friends with who's the fellow in Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Navy Yards. Anyway, he's been on our show. Just my brain's gone soft a sec. And he helped sell John's arts collection, and so it's gone to some good homes. That's wonderful. Congratulations, Wicked. Yeah. Very excited to listen to some chamber music pieces that Sky would enjoy. Yes, yeah. Please come up sometime. I know there was a technical issue, but with on Rachel's but come on up sometime and show those records. We'd love to see them and discuss them. Even tonight, we've got time. We're running out of time, so I've got so many questions here. Alan, this is a joke. When will we get to hear Stephen Foster's "Beautiful Streamer"? Beautiful Dreamer. That's Alan doing a DC joke. He's kind of a hip DC kind of guy. Evening, all. Hi, Loki. How are you? Good to see you. I know it's an hour earlier in England, so hopefully over the next couple of weeks you might be able to come up. You're never going to come up, but it's nice to see you in the peanut gallery. Yes. Thanks, Alan. John DeVore helped sell us. And Art Dudley was very good friends with John DeVore. Absolutely. Excuse me. Okay. Now we're going to talk a little bit about when I got Jack on. I'm going to get Jack out. We're going to talk a little bit about our there we go. Our record homework. which was for Copland's Quiet City. Anyone Copland's Quiet City? Now, let me just take that off. And I'm just going to mute Jack for a second. So Quiet City is for trumpet, cor anglais, and strings by Aaron Copland. And here's my recommendation. This is the vinyl one. This is the, I call it the American album. I'm not sure what you guys call it. It's got the Adagio for strings, which is a superb performance. In fact, everything is superb. The toughest piece on the show is Paul Creston, a rumor. It's a scherzo for orchestra. It's really difficult. But Quiet City, the Copland, is with Celia Nicklin on cor anglais. She's wonderful. She's the principal over that orchestra for the whole life of the orchestra, I think. I think she's still there, maybe. And the trumpet player is again a guy named Michael Laird, who is just magnificent. And some other people have recommended that. So if you have that, you're pretty well set. It's a beautiful piece, Quiet City. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, it's profound. It's beautiful harmonically. It's very advanced, but just exquisite harmonies. And the melodies. There's a middle section that has it's got a dotted 8/16. Ba-dum, ba-yum, ba-yum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And he gets it just right. A lot of guys, I listened to a lot of them this week, just talk to you guys about it. A lot of them, bum, dee-yum, be-yum, be-yum, way too slow, I think. Mariner gets it just right. So that's a great one. Does anybody else have a recommendation?
I did not.
Let me get Jack on. Okay, Jack, go ahead. Hang on, Jack. Hang on. There we go.
Yeah, this is the Orpheus Chamber Ensemble out of New York. It's a small ensemble. Appalachian Springs on here, the original, for small
For 13
chamber
instruments.
orchestra.
Mm.
And it's really interesting. Very different. Good recording.
Who's the trumpet player on that?
I don't know, and it's so dark in here I can't read it, but it's really good.
No
And I
problem.
had another one, and it certainly isn't my favorite, but if you've never heard this,
Oh, I love this.
Awesome.
it's really, really good. I don't think it's
Yes.
the way
Yeah.
Copland would have wanted it played, but it's pretty. It's a
Mm.
very pretty recording. As
I
we
love
hit a pothole.
I love that recording. When I first heard that, I wasn't that impressed with it, and I wrote a comment on on Facebook, and I got shit on from a great height because there are people who are Alison Balsam fanboys and girls. They call her the trumpet crumpet because she's a very beautiful girl, very sexist name, but she's a fantastic player. So there's a video. If you want to hear Quiet City, go to the video on the Alison Balsam website, a YouTube channel. And she's doing it with Nick. I'm trying to remember Nick's last name on cor anglais. He won the BBC Musician of the Year. He's wonderful. Nick Daniels. And he's playing cor anglais. He's a lovely guy. We're friends on Facebook. He's a wonderful person. But there's something about her, well, Jack would know far more than this, but the embouchure, you call it the mask, right? This part right here, where the embouchure just fits into the mouthpiece perfectly. The way she changes her octaves, I've never heard it so fluent. It's amazing. I mean, Michael Laird is great on the run, but Alison Balsam, and that's on CD. Eric, that would be a great CDD for you to get. Let me just get Jack up there big again. Yeah, that's a lovely record. It really is. She's beautiful.
I streamed it today and was listening to it and couldn't believe it. It was one of the ones I was going to suggest. Way to go, Jack.
Yeah, well,
so even streaming it is quite good. Yeah,
it is. It is. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
but the video is very good. And while you're at it, with the Alison Balsam, it's Alison Balsam, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Alison.
And I put it on for Jan all the time, and Jan just loves it. Eternal Source of Light Divine by Handel. Isn't that a beautiful name? He wrote it for the birthday of Queen Anne. It's for strings, harpsichord, and trumpet and voice. And she does it on natural trumpet, 3 holes in a long tube. and her facility on the natural trumpet is staggering. And a guy named Iestyn, Iestyn, is that Welsh name. Iestyn Davis does it as a countertenor. Jan, how beautiful is that? Jan said it's gorgeous. So check that out. Eternal Source of Light Divine with Alison Balsam and Iestyn Davis. It's exquisite. It's one of the most beautiful things you'll ever hear on YouTube. About 4 minutes, that's all it is. Boy, that handle could write a tune. And her Quiet City. But that's a great recommendation for CD. The vinyl one, I would suggest mine. Let me just put up a couple of others. That's with Copland conducting the LSO. And it's with the principal trumpet at that time, Willie Lang. A little bit of brass band in it, vibrato, but a very fine player. That's with Tom Stacey on Cor Anglais, famous. And their principal trumpet, what's his name? I should have his name. He's wonderful, very famous trumpet player. Salvation Army. All these guys were in brass bands. So this is an American player, the Salvation Army. Do you remember Jack, principal trumpet of the New York Phil? Do you remember his name? Oh, Phil Smith. Phil Smith. Yeah, Phil Smith. This is an LSO with Sultan Thomas. This is with Maurice. Who's the trumpet player? What's his name? Maurice Murphy.
Oh, Maurice Murphy. Yeah.
Maurice Murphy, and the great Christine Pendrell, who was young at that time, playing the LSOs. That's a great one. There's lots of good ones, and that's our homework for next week, guys. What's that concerto? And if you don't know it, you're in for a treat. It's the greatest wind concerto ever written. It's certainly one of the greatest concertos Mozart ever wrote. And that version is with Jack Brymer and Thomas Beecham. And I suggest you listen to that first, because I think if you listen to that, you won't be listening to anything else. But anyway, don't get me wrong. It's wonderful. Okay. So that's that. Does anybody else have anything to say about Quiet City? No, you've got Angie. You said you streamed the Alison Balsam?
Yes, really good. I listened to the whole thing this afternoon. It's when I like something, it's because it has an emotional connection to it. Just like the reason why I like Anna Sophie Mutter. She's very passionate and emotional. And when I listened to this, I was like, this is amazing. We don't need Botti. We got her.
That's right. Okay, let me just remove this in the studio. Okay, so I've got the link up if you want to come up and show some records. I'm going to go to Jim. Jim's only got a couple tonight, but go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, well, the first one is a Decca. It's Benjamin Britten St. Nicholas, the original, with Peter Pears and Britten conducting the Aldeburgh. But it's a beautiful, I don't think it has ever been played. It's a beautiful, I don't know what year this is, probably about 1960, isn't it? Scott, do you know?
I don't know. I would say late 50s, early 60s.
Right. And then there's a couple of very interesting ones. Well, this one is a Michael Tippett double album for his 80th birthday.
Oh, that's a
John Ogden playing the piano sonata, the Edinburgh String Quartet doing the first quartet, and Menuhin and Robert Masters playing the Fantasy Concertante on the theme of Corelli.
That is a great record. Jimmy, you are hitting them out of the park every week.
And again, I think it's brand new. I don't think this has ever been played because there's not a scratch on the label at all. And it's just beautiful. I have to say, 99p. There you go. And my final one, which I think is a little bit out of the ballpark, but it's really good, is a singer I adore, and that's Boris Christoph, taking part in Slavonic Orthodox liturgy.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful.
And again, it's
Beautiful.
It's virtually flawless little.
You guys in England getting your EMIs. Very jealous.
I'm so jealous.
The one thing I have been listening to this week is Jean Martineau doing all 5 Saint-Saëns symphonies. with the orchestral ORTF. I mean, I didn't know very much about the Saint-Saëns symphonies except for the organ symphony. These are really wonderful performances. They were recorded between 71 and 75, just before he died, and some really good stuff. Two of the symphonies were never published in Saint-Saëns' lifetime. There's an A major one, a very early one, and an F major one, Herbs Roma, which was written for a competition. But if you can get hold of that CD or stream them, they're really worth having a listen to. They're lovely pieces. A little bit cross between Beethoven and Schumann with a bit of Berlioz thrown in.
Wow.
So they're worth a listen.
Thank you, Jack.
Okay, so I've got Jack muted. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, if we get echoes tonight, I'm kicking you off, okay? I sent you all an email with settings to make sure you check the settings, because last week we had some real problems with the audio. It's lovely to see you all. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. How are you? Hello,
It's great
everybody.
to see you. Scott,
Jim.
got some records to show. Sky, nice to see you, my friend. How you doing, bud?
Very good. How are you? Thanks for having me again.
Oh, are you kidding?
Nice guy.
Not the same. It's
Hi,
like
Sky. Hi, Jim.
Hi,
and
Sky.
of course, like a big happy family. And of course, Alan. Alan, that joke was great.
Yeah.
Stephen Foster, very underrated composer. I did a just trying to remember his name, the arranger. Stephen Foster in concert as a band arrangement, and I did it with a group I conducted years ago. Amazing music, and of course, here's Ryan. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hey, hi,
Hi,
great.
Ryan.
Check
Ryan.
check the settings and everything.
Hi.
We're okay so far. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to kick you off. Okay, I'm just gonna mute you for a second. Okay. So, Jim, did you say you had some records to show that Scott had?
Yes, yeah, I do. I think we're going to do something a little fun tonight. I'm going to show Scott's brand new records. Well, they're not brand new. Some of them are brand new.
Oh, is
But
that
we're going to show some of Scott's records.
Is that the Discogs link, Jim?
Yeah. I think I sent something to you about this as well.
You did. It was amazing.
So we got our first shipments, and yeah. So this is what Scott chose for the first couple batches that we got. We'll start with this one here.
Oh yeah, that's
Wow.
I got the original. Yeah,
Beautiful.
awesome.
Is that
Gotta
an
be an
original? Is
expensive
that an original?
record.
Is that an original?
No, this is
Oh, Testament.
This is an EMI Testament, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so beautiful. The original will be about $1,000.
Right. And then
That's a
you
great.
could add this one to your collection, Scott.
Yeah, I was missing that
Violin,
AP, so we found that.
And this one's gorgeous. It's very minty. You're gonna love this.
Look at you, Scott. Aren't you special?
Now, I
I'm
don't
very
know
blessed.
how this one slipped out of my hands. I'm looking at the same list and I missed this one. This is a Joanna Marzi Tulip.
Oh, wow.
So this is a Deutsche Grammophon clear audio release.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
So analog phonic also did some releases, some of these releases.
I'm doing a video on them now.
Yeah. So congrats, Scott, on the March.
Yeah, can't wait to
Oh my
hear that.
goodness. And we were just talking about this one earlier. So you finally
Right.
have this one.
Fabulous.
So this is that SXL 2164 Monteau Daphnis.
That's the speaker's corner one, right?
This is the speaker's corner.
Yeah.
I've got it. It's very good.
Yes. And then this
By the
as
way,
well. We both got a copy of
Matthew says, I'm so triggered right now.
this. I'm sorry, people are probably crying right now, like, oh my god. Like, what's going on there?
That's so fun.
These are not OGs, people. Relax.
Yeah. Oh, that old thing. Yeah.
So yeah, the Seasons, Glasanov, and this is also a speaker's corner. Luckily, pretty much every one of your records, Scott, is like near mint. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how you get used records and they show up like near mint. But
That's
you
a
have
great record. That's a great
this
record.
Borodin. And I know you've been liking Borodin lately, Scott.
Yes,
So
it's
you'll enjoy
great.
that one. I have that one already. And then you
Oh,
finally got this one.
as soon
So
as I
this is
saw that, I said, I have to have that.
yeah, this is a
That's
great record. I have this
that's
one as
the
well. And
that's
you have serial number 1-1736. So it's one of
that's
these
the alto.
Was that the alto?
alto analog, yes.
Oh, is that the alto? Oh, what a shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm
I
just
feel bad.
kidding.
Anthony, there might be another one available, Anthony. Okay.
Jealousy.
So Shostakovich Symphony Number 5, the Stanislav with the Minneapolis Symphony. So this is
Wow.
also a speaker's corner. These jackets are just gorgeous, and I'm gonna pull this out. And they come with these booklets. Have you guys seen these booklets? These speakers corner booklets?
Yeah.
Jim, is it glossy or matte?
It is very glossy, and it's a really nice jacket. It really
There you
is.
go, Scott,
Speakers
you're
Corner did a great job with these Mercuries.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know what I was doing when those came out. I missed a lot of them. So this was great.
Yeah, and then this is a classic records release. Scott was explaining to me that these were recordings that were just missed, and these were the ones that Classic picked that weren't in the Common Living Stereo series.
That's a fantastic performance.
Yes,
It's
the
amazing.
Sinfonia Domestica. That's the Reiner Chicago Symphony. And we got some sealed records for you, Scott. So this is another classic. So this is, I think, Symphony 4, number 3. No. It's Symphony number 4, and then the Leonore Overture number 3. There's also a classic that with a blue cover. That's the Beethoven Symphony number 5. So this is a nice sealed copy for you, Scott. So you get to open that one, and then, okay, stop crying, everybody. It's okay. So
We're
this
not
is
worthy.
also
We're not worthy.
this is also a sealed copy for you, Mr. Wilson.
Oh.
That you get to
Let me just
open.
say, Scott Wilson, Anthony, I'm going to sell some of my records because, oh my God, how much was all this? How much were these records? If you don't mind.
We don't need to get into that.
I know, guys.
So
I'm gonna have another.
So this is
I'm gonna
another
have
another sealed speakers corner. This is the Parade. This is a beautiful cover. This is a Ravel and Debussy with the
Oh,
Detroit.
I love that
Symphony.
color. That's a $150 record, an original.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have the original on that. So, yeah.
And then
Oh,
this
boy.
one, the Encore Byron Janis, also
Oh,
one
boy.
of these beautiful covers. These really thick
Jesus,
jackets.
what a collection, Scott.
And then, oh boy, this one, I don't know how I passed this one up in the list as well, because I don't have this copy. So this is a speaker's corner, correct, Scott? Not a classic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the last one here is this Mercury, also a speaker's corner.
That's going to be wonderful too.
Yeah, I'm gonna just show a couple more really quick since we were talking about them earlier.
Sorry,
So this
Max.
is another,
Sorry, Scott. Max just
this
said
is
on
another.
this, the gloss on those jackets is blinding me over here. Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
This is a Bolero that MoFi put out to carry on. So that's another Bolero. This is a Decca Bolero with the Lavas as well.
Constantly. That's a very expensive record.
And Sorcerer Apprentice. So I actually got this from that collection. And then here's a Copland for you. And this one's actually I opened like a red seal on the show
That's right, yeah.
before. But this one I found, this is actually an Indie 5S that I found, which I was happy to find. This is a great record. You know, Scott and I were talking about this. Like, why did some of the choices that Chad made in Analog Productions, you know, for the Living Stereo collection, like, why did he choose this one, for instance? And I believe, Scott, you said you looked this up, and it was like rated, and somebody rated it a 10++.
Yeah, the Mitchell Guide, everything that he chose and has a 10++ in the Mitchell Guide, and some of them are kind of not obscure, but not the main, you know, the heavy hitters. And that was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so Chad was looking for the best sounding recordings. And this is the Bolero that everybody was talking about. We're talking about
Yeah.
glossy.
That
This
was
is
one
a
of the
That thing's
really beautiful
gorgeous.
cover when it's out of the chat and out of this sleeve.
Yeah.
Sorry about
the analog. Is
shine.
that the analog production?
This is the Analog Productions. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you.
Jim,
Thank you
that
for
was,
taking care of
You're
my
welcome,
records.
Scott. You're
Jim,
welcome.
that was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Scott, congratulations. I mean, I was just teasing about the price, but that's a pretty penny. But boy, they're all like near mint and sealed.
Yeah, I couldn't pass on it.
We
Jim,
got
I'm gonna have to have
really
another look at
lucky.
that list. Jim, I'm
If
gonna
you
have
want to
another look.
really cry, you should see what I chose.
Oh my God.
Did they come in? Well, come on
Yeah,
again sometime. and show them.
I just showed you 15. We had to get a certain price when you're doing this. We had to buy like 60 records to get a decent price, you know. But yeah, so I bought like 45 records, and there are a lot of Deccas, a lot of Mercuries, a lot of living stereos. Yeah, like sealed copies of Venice, like LDS Soraya series, like Creation du Monde, like a sealed classic of that. Like a lot of great records.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Amazing,
I'm
Jim.
excited.
Thanks, Jim. So,
Thank you.
Sky, you mentioned Maria Duenas, the Beethoven. We talked about the Paganini tonight. Have you heard that?
I did. Yeah, I actually watched. If you go, you can see multiple videos of Deutsche Grammophon put out on YouTube, and you can actually watch her. And she is, as I said, as James said, she tells a story, and she's quite good.
Yeah, her tone. And then Jim reviewed the Julia Fisher, another one. I mean, there's so many. Janine Jansen. There was a lady.
But Anthony, what's interesting with Julia Fisher, though, she is also an extremely well pianist. So she also played the piano extremely well and concert level. So
Really?
Julia Fisher it's actually, if you go and look at her Wikipedia page, she will pop up as a pianist, and but she plays the violin. It's just mind blowing. I concur what James said. It really is. It's a phenomenal player, Julia Fisher.
Did you get anything new this week?
I do. I this now. The Crips playing the Schubert Great.
Original?
The Crips play.
Is that an original?
It is not original, but why it's not? It's a Speaker's Corner. It's
nice.
It's why it's because Speaker's Corners is better. I do have the original. We compared it. It's the Speaker's Corners. Actually, the tone quality and the quietness is just really well balanced. I highly recommend. I highly recommend you hear this piece with Cripps. I think Cripps really nails it down. His interpretation is so divine and so fun and yet so emotional. You really
ask Jim what he thinks about playing Schubert 9.
Okay, I'm here.
Well, it's one of my least favorite pieces in the world.
Tell him why, though, Jim.
Why?
Because it just grinds on inevitably for 50 minutes. It's just,
the string parts never end.
Relentless.
It never ends. We went to hear what's his name, the Russian guy, well, the German guy, do it. Was it L.A. Phil? Sanderson? What was his name?
I can't remember.
Anyway, yeah. No, dear, that piece just goes on. I mean, I can't.
If you can, please stream the Cripps interpretation, because I will say something about the Quiet City too. It's because Copland piece. There are so many interpretation on a average 9 minutes piece, but there are 9 minutes versus 13 minutes of tempo interpretations. So 4 minutes of difference in a 9 minute average piece makes a humongous difference in my opinion. So I prefer the
Yeah.
quiet city to be a little bit fast tempo. So that
Absolutely. Get the Mariner.
I recommend actually the Saint Maur string quintet with Hervé Lenable. You can actually stream that. So I know James, that will be a good one too. But again, it's the interpretation is really a 9-minute piece is quite perfect. Oh,
Great
this
stuff.
for Joy. I brought this just for Joy. I know Joy loved cellist. Joy, this is for you. If you can stream this. This is an ECM label.
Oh,
And if you can buy this, it's a new work, so more like a neoclassical work, but his tone is extremely well balanced, and it's a really good sounding record on ECM. Of course,
beautiful, Sky. Oh,
one
hang
more.
on. Hang on. There you go.
This is easily accessible, and this is Boccherini guitar quintet. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, beautiful. Eric, that would be a nice record for you, my friend.
This is absolutely, do not sleep on this. It is really easily accessible, and sounds fantastic. Of course, I can't let go without a string quartet, which is the Alban string quartet. Again,
I have that on telephone.
yeah.
It's on telephone. It's great.
Yeah, it's a gatefold. Their tone. It's actually this is a set. I'm missing a set, but this is the number 9 and 13. Other than that, it's just
Gorgeous. Thank you, Sky.
Sure.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, the last couple we have Ryan and Alan. Alan, do you have a couple of records to show us? We've got about 6 or 7 minutes.
Sure. First, this is the
Bolero.
Bolero that was mentioned earlier,
Everybody's got that.
and it's a 9S. So
Oh, that's an original. Excuse moi, Mr. Big Shooter.
and then because people mentioned this earlier, this is another version of Daphnis and Chloé. This is the original source.
I have it. It's very good. It's wonderful.
And then I guess a couple of weeks ago you were highlighting some Argos. So I have this one.
Lovely.
Oh yeah.
I really
That's
like.
beautiful. Cool. Oh, I didn't know that one existed.
And then the other day I listened to these. These are reel-to-reel tapes, and they're fantastic. There's a Vivaldi that's just incredible. I mean, all the music sounds incredible on reel-to-reels. I don't listen to it that much, but I really liked it. This afternoon I was listening to this. It's a box set. It's mostly a choral piece, which I wasn't into as much, but what I really liked was side 4, which is called, it's on a London, and it's by Michael Tippett, and it's called the
The Ritual Dances.
from the
Oh, they
Midsummer
are
Nights.
amazing. They're amazing.
It really is. And talk about a showcase for different instruments. And it's just in and out. So many different instruments. I just love the way
Child of Our
it
Time
flows.
is a real Child of Our Time is a real snoozer. But the Ritual Dances from Midsummer Marriage is really good. And that's a fantastic recording of them.
Yeah.
And you have a wide band.
Yes. And then because you brought up our friend Frank Zappa the other day, this is a mono recording. It's a reissue.
Wow, look at that.
It's very good.
Amazing.
As well as orchestral pieces.
He's amazing. He's a brilliant man.
Yeah, and then this was from the soundtrack of the movie, and it has a version of the G-Spot Tornado that you had mentioned.
God, I love that piece. It's just this energy. He did it as a
That's
ballet.
what you mean. Thanks.
He wrote it as a ballet. It's amazing. It's great to see you, Alan. And finally, from all the way from Maui, Hawaii, free of tariffs, I think he's very lucky. I don't think the tariff. I think Sky, Alan, Anthony, Jim, even James, Scott, we're all screwed. But I think Jack's on the road. I think he's gone to Never Neverland. And Ryan, I think, is okay because he's in beautiful, beautiful Maui. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, really good.
What's going on? What do you got to show us?
I went to a garage sale. I got a Peter Grimes Britain's conducting on London.
Great. It's great.
I haven't shown, I haven't shown too many opera. About right at the beginning of the pandemic, I went to a different garage sale, and I got this opera, Donizetti,
Lucia
Maria Callas. Yeah,
amazing. Look at that photograph.
yeah, it's a great photo of her. This is a very sad thing someone did to the label on that. They put these white stickers on all of it.
Is that an original?
Yeah, but it has white stickers on all four. It's 2 records. It's 2 of them, right? And they put these white stickers on all half stickers on all of them. I'm wondering if it's. I think it might have been a library or something. Maybe they're gonna, loan them out and stamp them. I'm not sure.
That is.
I guess I know it was tragic. I think Alan just showed this. This is another Donizetti.
Can you hold it up a little bit, bud? We can't see the bottom.
So this is Argo, Donizetti, and Rossini.
Oh yeah.
Playing string music. So it's 2 opera composers doing string music. You have the blue one that has 4 of the Rossinis on it, right? String sonatas.
Yeah, the blue one. Just 1 second. Jim tonight. Jim in Columbus. He said, G-spot tornado. Is that in the key of G? And is it hard to find?
Oh, man.
Jan? Jan's ignoring it. Jan, that was funny. He goes, about G-spot tornado by Frank Zappa. And Jim says, is that in the key of G? And is it hard to find? Jim, it all depends on if you're a dexterous musician or not. Okay, sorry. Anyway, keep on going. We have about 1 more minute, my friend.
Okay, so if you have the one with 4, this says the other 2 because he did 6 for Rossini, and on the other side it has Donizetti doing one of his string quartets, but they
Fabulous.
I didn't show this last week for Brahms. Anybody have this one?
Oh, that should be up there with the world's worst covers.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. But it's also very strange in that they have the 4th movement of the 2nd, the 4th movement of the 1st, the 3rd movement of the 3rd, and the 3rd movement of the 4th. So it's not one of his. They took pieces of different Brahms symphonies, but they took the best parts.
Eric, don't buy that one for your Brahms. Okay, guys.
Not recommended.
Yeah, Robin. First of all, thank you for. Let me just. Thank you for your settings tonight. They were great. No echo, which was great. We had a little bit at the beginning. We got rid of that. That's great. First of all, it's great to see everybody. I want to say thank you to my friend Jack, who's on the road. Let me just get back to Jack. Jack, have a great evening. Safe travels, my friend.
Went from Birmingham, Alabama to Chattanooga. It was great. Made the time go. I wouldn't miss this.
We're so glad you made it, Jack. Okay, guys. Anything special? Any live concerts this week? No live concerts this week. Just it's saving money for records. Well, I mean, we had quite a few people watching tonight, which is great, and we'll probably get between 6 and 8 watching the rerun. And boy, people like Eric come on, who's a novice, which is wonderful. What we're looking for, and boy, he can get a whole panoply of recommendations. And not only that, also high-end audio that that can be quite inexpensive, like the shit Modi that Daryl mentioned, and also the whim that on a whim I'm going to buy some shit on a whim that Max suggested. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for a wonderful evening. Stick around for the after show. It's where some of the fun is. And next week we have Ozzy from Miami talking country. Hope Angie will be there with us. That's it, guys. An hour and a half on the dot. We didn't get to all the records tonight. Scott had some. We'll do those next time. But we did get to the building a library, and your homework is the Mozart clarinet concerto. Guys, have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.
Hope by tomorrow you're tariff free, and all the very best to you. Canada. Oh, Canada. Yeah, that's right. We're not for sale. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.